welcome to Afro Scientific Spirituality. This is a place where we separate the facts from the fiction, the science from the superstitions, and the concept from the misconceptions about African spirituality. My name is Benefit West, and still reaching you from the heart of Africa. Today, I want to talk about a very, very important book, and it's a magical grimoire. There are books we call grimoire. These are books on magic, textbook on magic, how to practice magic and spiritual practices. This book is a very, very popular and important book that is not really directly related to African spirituality, but it has its roots in African spirituality. And it's a very good book and most highly recommended for anybody and everybody that want to know about Western magic, the origin of what we call modern magic today. And the title of the book is exactly that. The title is Modern Magic, 11 Lessons in High Magic. This is a book that was written by Donald Michael Craig, originally in 1997. That was the first edition. The one I'm reviewing today is the second edition that was written in 2001. And the fourth printing of that book was estimated to have recorded over 100,000 copies. But I believe that is an understatement because this book is very, very popular and it's a very, very good book and very powerful book. Today I want to review this book so that anybody and everybody that is interested in knowing about Western spirituality, Western magic, this is the book that they need to read because it covers, I will say, essentially all the topics that you will find in today's modern magic is in this one book. And the writer have been able to compile this tome in a very concise way and easy to understand and very, very self-explanatory. So this book is a very good book and I have to recommend this book for everybody. This is the book that you need to have. You don't just need to read it, you need to have it in your library. And it contains a lot of informations that are very, very necessary for the study of magic. This is the book that when we have a situation whereby your mom, your son or your daughter comes to you and they tell you they want to become a magician. Imagine your son waking up and say, "Dad, Mom, I want to start a career in magic. I want to become a magician." What book are you going to buy for them? How are you going to support them? This is the book that you need to buy for them in that situation because it contains everything from the basic principles to the most advanced principles and all the information that they are going to need is in this very book, believe it or not. The book will turn a novice into a master magician. This is how it is. Many people in my native country, Nigeria, the only magic book they ever know in their life is the book called the Seven Book of Moses. And this is because the Catholic Church have been able to drum this over the years into their mind that the Seven and Six Book of Moses is a very powerful book, very dangerous book, one of the most powerful books of magic in the world, and that book is a total trash. I have condemned that book on this channel. In fact, that is one of my first review is on blasting that 6 and 7 Book of Moses because in my experience it's the worst magical grimoire I have read in my life, and it is a fact. I have many magic books, so I have more than 1,000 books on magic, digital and physical books. I have a very extensive digital library, and I've been reading this subject. In fact, my only interest in reading is books on magic, quantum physics, ancient African history, plasma physics. Those are my main concentration of topics that I read. I don't read regular materials. So if you want books on magic, I have a very extensive library, and I normally give people books. People that know me knows that I have a very large amount of books, and I am the one that normally distributes to people because I read a lot and I always acquire these materials. In fact, my library, I don't think many universities have the kind of books that I have on these subjects in the world. So many universities don't have the books that I have in my house. So I read this subject a lot, so I know where the important informations are, where the not so useful information can be found also. So this book comes highly recommended when I was starting my journey trying to make sense of Western spirituality. This is one of the books that actually gave me clarification almost 10 years ago. And I want to talk about the book on this channel because it is still relevant today. If you ask me to talk about all the magic books that I have read, which are the best ones, this is one of the best ones. I will regard this book to be 500 times more powerful than the 7 book of Moses that you are bragging with. This book is very concise, it's very straightforward and very practicable, and it is easily accessible. I am going to list some of the topics, not all. I will not even go into explanation. I just want to list some of the topics that are covered in this book. In this book, you are going to learn about the tarot, how to read the tarot, the history of divination. You are going to learn the origin of the tarot from ancient Egypt. You are going to learn how to do divination in this book. You are going to learn about the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram and the middle pillar ritual. These are 2 important rituals that every Western occultist, magician, or spiritualist needs to know about, needs to know how to do. You are going to learn them in this book, very important. You are going to learn about the circulation of the body of light ritual. You are going to learn about the watchtower ritual. You are going to learn about meditation. You are going to learn about the tree of life. You are going to learn about the 3 pillars, the 4 Kabbalistic words, the history of the Kabbalah. You are going to learn about Gematria, Notarikon, Temura, the Talmud. You are going to learn about talismans, astral projections, path walking, healing, and the keys of Solomon. You are going to learn about the magical rituals that you can do for any purpose, and also you are going to learn about sex magic. This book traces origin of modern magic in the world today, from the Jewish system, the Jewish Kabbalah, the Jewish spiritual system, which they copied or got from ancient Egyptian spirituality. So we can say this book is also an upshot, or modern magic is an upshot of African spirituality, because it can be directly traced from African spirituality in essence. So modern magic is just the view or the interpretation of African spirituality by people that came to Africa. Okay, if you want to know about the connection between modern magic and ancient African spirituality, this is the book that you need to really read, because the book goes very deep into history of the origin of most of the rituals that is being performed in the book, including rituals taken from the East, taken from India. The origins are there. Rituals taken from ancient Egypt, the origins are there. You will know everything The book also talks about dreams, the importance of having a dream diary, your ritual diary, realization rituals, definitions of magical terms, the difference between white magic, black magic, and gray magic, the tarot contemplation ritual, definitive meanings of the major arcana of the tarot. The book go into details to explain the 5 elements. Then you need to know the books talk about how to invoke these 5 elements, the 5 elements of matter. The books also talk about the advanced middle pillar ritual, talks about the pentagram and the elements and your magical pentacles. The books also talk about magical names, the difference between ceremonial magic and ritual magic, and the advantage of being a solitary practitioner and the disadvantage of it as well, or advantage and disadvantage of working in a group. The books also talk about the IOB techniques and other things as well. In this book, you are going to be introduced to the act of evocation, how to properly evoke a spirit or invoke a spirit. You are also going to be introduced to the Gotia, the book of spirits, the 72 seals. You're going to be learning about the Yeziratic sealing rites, artificial elementals, how to create elementals or what we call thought forms. You are going to be learning about channelings and magical evocations, the difference between both of them. You are going to be learning how to construct the triangle of hearts. Then you are also it also went deep into the topic of sexuality. You are going to be learning about the behavior of various cults and how to guard or prevent against sexual manipulations by devious practitioners. You are going to be learning many things about sex magic techniques. You will learn about Tantra, God eating, the Mass of the Holy Ghost, Kriya Yoga, the Yoni Mudra, Kalakara ritual, the magical elixir, creation of the magical elixir, magic rituals for couples, the potent orgasm, and the holy letter. You are going to learn all this topic and much more in this very one book I am talking about. You are also going to be learning about the Piscean and the Aquarius age mentality, the false notion of white, black, and gray magic. You are going to be learning about higher spiritual entities and lower spiritual entities. You're going to be learning about the difference between mental projection and astral projection. You will learn about the phenomenon of astral whiplash, by locationality, the ritual of the paths and the ceremony of the paths, and much more. The books there are really lots of topics. If I on my own just want to start mentioning just topics in this book, it's going to take almost an hour to do this video by just mentioning the topics contained in this book. So I just take out a few topics. All these topics I am mentioning, you will not find 1/3 of them in your 7 book of Moses. For those people that are still tying their mind to 7 book of Moses because they know nothing about magic, the topics that I mentioned here, 97% of them is not inside 7 book of Moses. So this book, I will say, is much more powerful than your so-called 7 book of Moses. This is a book that every serious practitioner of spirituality, of magic, irrespective of the kind of spiritual practice you do, you need to read this book. There is this false notion in my country that if you are reading magic books, you are going to get mad. Especially that 7 book of Moses. There is so much fear inside that if you read this book, you're going to get mad. That is a very big lie. I have read thousands of magic books. If reading magic books gets somebody mad, I'll be walking the street naked today. I myself am a personal example because I have read most of these books. I have lots of them, and I have practiced from most of these books. Many of them are trash. Somebody will write a book that is impracticable. How does that make sense? Just to prove that he's an expert on a subject. Somebody will see situations where people will take a very simple concept. They are going to make it complicated just because they want to be known as an expert in the subject. This is what I find mostly among Western occult writers. They do this a lot, and I think it is a trait that they carried of colonization, the act of discovery. When you see missionaries and early colonizers, you come to Africa, you discover a river that has already been there, a river that has been there for thousands of years. You will go and tell people that you discovered the river, you discovered Africa, you discovered a tribe, like they have not been in existence before. Then you start writing from your limited knowledge what you think the tribe is. Instead of settling down and learning from the people to teach you, you will start writing your own opinion, changing names and changing concepts. We find this trend a lot. It has been carried over into Western occultism. That's why Western occultism, for most parts, is quite nowadays is difficult to practice. For me, it's a long way. If you want to practice spirituality, I prefer African spirituality because African spirituality is straightforward. What you see is what you get. There is no middleman, no shortcut. If you know what you are doing, you don't waste time in the practice. But in Western occultism, they will take a concept that they copied from a certain culture. They will try to twist it and make it complicated and present it to you in a way that you will spend more time practicing it than just adapting the original concept, all because they want to attach their name that they discovered something new. So they are bringing something new to the subject. So most magical grimoires, we see how they are written like this, wasting people's time, which is not really good. So the aim of my channel is to really expose this stuff. Of all the magic books that I have read, so many of them, this is one of the best. That is why I'm talking about this very book in this channel. This channel this book did not waste time. It was not written to waste people's time. It was actually written to clarify the subject of magic and expose it for what it really is. That's why it's a very, very popular book. This book has been all around the world. People know this book, and many magical associations, societies, they use this book. And I highly recommend this book for my students, people that are learning spirituality and magic. This is the book that you need to know. This is just the one book that I recommend if you want to know everything about Western occult practice, Western magic, the foundation, the principles, all the topics inside. Everything is contained in this book. So this is just the one book you need to get. You don't need to buy many books. Just buy this one book. It contains all the topics that is talked about in Western occultism today. By reading this book, you will know all. It will bring you up to date. So when you hear about a certain concept that some people are discussing, you will know what they are talking about. It's all contained here. So this is one of the best books on magic that have been written so far in our time by Donald Michael Craig. And they have two editions. The first edition, the second edition is what I'm talking about. Don't go for the first edition, it's not complete. The second edition is the best, and it is free to download. I downloaded this copy I'm talking about 3 days ago on the internet. Just type the title on the internet I'm sure you will get within the first 5 sites. You can download it for free. It's very popular, and you won't believe places that this book have been in the world. Places I have seen this book in the world, I was shocked. So people know about the book because it's a very, very powerful book, very, very educative and informative and easy to understand book. From this book, you are going to learn so many things about spirituality, the history, the Inquisition, reincarnation, the circles of humanity, the different types of humanity. So many things, so many powerful topics are inside this book. So if you want to become a master of magic, you must know the subject in this book. You must read the book. It's that much. If you don't know about the subject in this book, you have not read this book, or you are not conversant with the topics in this book, you cannot call yourself a modern day practitioner or modern day spiritualist. So you really need to know, because it contains everything that we are talk about today when we talk about modern magic. All the topics are inside. So this is one of the best Western magical grimoires of our time, and I am very happy to expose it to you guys today. So I would like you to download it, read it, tell me what you think about it, and also tell your friends about it as well. It's a very good book. So this is what I have for you today. Questions and comments are welcome. Like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you can get the alert when I bring out my latest videos. And I promise you guys many powerful revelations for this year. And I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye.